And where did all my things go? Jesus, what the fuck is going on here?
Terribilis Deus Sanctuarios.
I am the shield of gods, demon. I am Taras.
Satana, Inventor et Magister omnes fallatiae, hostes humanae salutis.
How are you still alive?
Terribilis Deus, de Sanctuario suo. Make your peace with the devil. You'll soon be back in hell. Don't drag this out and die! Don't drag this out and die! I'll crucify. You won't get me. Humiliare sub potenti manu Dei! Don't drag... I won't be stopped by a bit of blood. Don't drag this out and die! Don't drag this out and die! Fuck no! Not after all these years! Not like this! I'll crucify your corpse!
Jesus. His helmet's completely stuck. I can't get it off. What's this? Did the Knight write this? God! How long has he been down here? Everything's here. All right. More entries. Also written by the Knight? Christ. He went completely mad. I suppose it's good that he's dead. This looks like some kind of contract. It must be important if he locked it away. The Knight's been guarding this place against demons. It's written here that someone is supposed to come and take his place. But who? Even more entries. Pit to hell, and that Knight was guarding it.
Henry, what happened down there?
A mad knight lived down in the mine. He must have completely lost his head and killed your cattle.
A knight? In the mine?
Where's he now?
He's dead. We fought, and I won. His name was Taras Mura. After the accident in the mine, Taras entered into a contract with Father Richard to guard the mine. He spent 5 whole years underground and watched over the pit of hell to ensure nothing ever came crawling out. The locals then brought him food in return.
We never knew anything about a contract.
Father Richard must have feared the locals wouldn't agree to such a thing. So he came up with the contract to guard the pit of hell.
It's true. Father Richard was the only one who knew about Taras.
So this whole time, we haven't been feeding demons, but a knight who was protecting us from them?
And everything was fine until I forbade you. I can't believe I'm to blame for the death of a good Christian. I'll never forgive myself for as long as I live.
Well, you couldn't have known. But it looks like you won't have anyone to punish for the slaughtered cattle.
If the knight was protecting us and now he's dead, what will happen to us now? Who'll protect us from hell?
You should place your faith in God and not try to appease hell. Instead, be good Christians under Father Marion's guidance.
Thank you, Henry. As it is written in the Bible, believe, and your faith will save you. Hellish forces have no power over good Christians.
Father Marion, forgive me for doubting you. We'll go and pray, and never again will we take anything to the mine.
We'll have the mine filled in, along with the pit of hell beneath it. And you, Henry, are due a reward. Here you are. Go with God. I'll take care of the rest here on my own.
Go!
Good morning to you.
What's new in town?
These days, there's mainly been talk about scuffles between the Kuttenberg miners. I don't know what it's about, but I heard it has something to do with a traditional archery contest. If you're interested, go and see the foreman, Vlach, in the Black Horse Tavern. One more thing. There are 2 German swordsmen staying here, all the way from Frankfurt. I think that lot has some kind of dispute with our city council or something. If that's of any interest to you, you should ask them directly. They mostly hang out on Merchant Street, not too far from here. And there's a woman doing up some old building in the Hoprink. She's got big plans for it, I heard. Maybe she'll have something for you to do. Try asking Gelstuck. He owns the Zum Eisner Adler. He's offering a little job. And if you took care of it, you'd be pulling a thorn from my side. And not just mine. All the merchants in the city. And that's about it.
That doesn't sound bad. Thank you.
Wie geht's, mein Herr?
Greetings. Do you need something?
What are you doing here, Goodman?
What does it look like? I'm handing out wine from my vineyard.
You're giving it away for free?
My vineyard is new, and the folks in this town are damn stubborn. So I figured I'd pour a cask or 2 into them, and maybe they'd get a taste for it. What about your good self? Would you like to try it?
Free wine? I'd be a fool to say no to that.
My thoughts exactly, Goodman. Here you are. To your health. I'm curious what you'll think of it.
I have to say, I didn't expect that. You're right, it has a real bite to it.
Forgive me, Goodman, but say no more. In vino veritas, and the truth in my wine is that I'm a fool, an idiot whose wife is cuckolding him, whose children can't stand him, and even the dog pisses in his boots every morning. And my wine tastes like dog piss as well. I never should have bought that damned vineyard. If it wasn't for those fucking monks selling their wine everywhere they can, I might have a chance. But not like this.
Is there anything I could do to help you?
With the dog pissing in my boots? Well, I'm not sure. I tried sticking his snout in it, putting pepper in my boots, and nothing worked. Piss in my boots again the next morning.
I meant your business troubles.
Oh, I see. Maybe you could. If you're not from around here, that is.
No, I'm not.
Allow me to introduce myself. Caspar Rudolph, vineyard owner and a not very successful wine seller.
I'm Henry.
Maybe you could help me, Henry. I'm looking for someone who's not well known in Kuttenberg. Someone who can pretend to be someone else, if you know what I mean.
Sure, why not? If all you need is someone folk won't recognize.
The monks in Setlet's monastery make excellent wine. They call it the monastery secret. People can't get enough of it, and I can't figure out what their secret is. But I intend to find out.
A secret? Well, just the job for me. I'm a bit of an expert when it comes to secrets hidden in monasteries.
The custodian of the monastery vineyard has a relative in town, an innkeeper called Havel. And this Havel is a real know-it-all when it comes to wine. He really likes to boast about it. If you were to pose as a sommelier who's just come back from abroad, I'm sure he'd be happy to talk to you, and maybe he'll reveal something.
That won't be a problem. I've drunk so much wine I know all about it.
Excellent. But I also have this clever book all about wine by Buschek of Velhatitze. I'm sure you'll learn a thing or two from it.
The book might come in handy. Can I borrow it?
When I said I have it, that wasn't, entirely accurate.
What's the truth then?
The book belongs to me, but I lent it to someone and she hasn't given it back yet. Miss Adleta Manlica should have it. I lent it to her during our, let's call it our friendship, which has come to an end.
Didn't you say you're married?
What has that to do with anything?
Oh, I'm sure your wife wouldn't mind if you asked an old girlfriend to return a book you lent her.
Oh dear. Adleta used to have rather more friends than might be expected of a respectable young woman. But her family's patience ran out, so they arranged her marriage and put an end to her dalliances. Since then, Adleta has been confined to her room and guarded like the crown jewels.
And you want me to break in?
Well, yes. Master Swordsmith Mannlicher has a house in Lethlilskar Street. Adleta is either locked in her room or walks in the gardens behind the Italian court, where she is guarded by her brother. The Mannlichers don't want any more problems.
It doesn't matter. I'll find a way to get the book back.
Great! Any more questions?
Do you have any idea what this secret might be?
They're monks, so it could be anything. Maybe they put the crushed up bones of saints in it, or they sing hymns to the wine. How should I know?
I'll get right on it then.
Excellent. And don't forget, making an impression is the main thing. You look like you can handle it. Good luck.
Eh? Tarry a while, young man, and answer me one question. Are you truly happy in your life?
I don't know. Probably not, all things considered.
Even a young mind can wallow in despondency. It's a sign of the times, I suppose. Know that the immortal soul inherently makes no distinction between happiness and unhappiness, only between salvation and damnation. Happiness and unhappiness are nothing but inner feelings, delusions that pale in comparison to eternity. Tell me, what path have you chosen in life?
A man should be fearless, prepared, and tough enough to cope with anything.
A warrior. Shining armor, the blade of a sword, heroic deeds and glory. Is that your life?
Something like that.
Everything turns to dust eventually. What if I told you only one path leads to eternal salvation? A path destined for those who see the light, who understand. The path of true faith, divine love, and unending humility. And that is a path you too, my young friend, can follow.
What should I do?
Renounce your life of sin and accept Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, according to his teachings, unreservedly and unconditionally. Christ must enter your soul. Fill it to the brim. Hell is approaching, and time is running out. Repent and pray, young man. Step forth onto the path towards salvation.
All right. I'll pray and repent, and trust in the salvation of my immortal soul. I hope it works.
A wise decision, young man. You'll look back on this day as a new beginning. I must be off now, young man. May God be with you, and the best of luck on your path, whatever it may be.
God be with you too.
His lungs up in the yard again today.
Not a chance. That old coot will outlive us all.
Hey, my lovely. Zizka told me you found something out about Liechtenstein.
If only just Liechtenstein. I've only been here a couple of days, but I seem to know everything about this city and its sinful people. And about the Pope, the second Pope, Sigismund, Wenceslas, about the sickness of old men, the desires of young men, who I sometimes have to beat off with a stick. Simply everything. The tavern seems to be the fount of all knowledge.
Working in a tavern can't be easy for a woman like you.
What do you mean, a woman like me?
A beautiful woman. Does anyone harass you? Just say the word and I'll take care of it.
Ah, don't you worry, love. I can take care of myself.
But anyway, about Liechtenstein. Anything new?
Well, there might be something. One of the girls I talked to told me her sweetheart frequents some nasty alehouse. And one of the regulars there recently started buying drinks for the whole house. Which is suspicious, because this fella is practically a beggar. Goatskin, they call him. They asked him where he got the coin, and he boasted that he was spying for some rich lord.
All right. That sounds promising.
Of course, it doesn't have to be Liechtenstein, but there can't be that many rich men who pay spies. And we have to start somewhere.
That's true. And you've spoken to this goatskin fella?
Not yet. I was rather hoping you'd do it. That grubby alehouse is a bit too wild even for me.
Oh, that's saying something. Well, trying to get sense out of drunken wretches is quite a skill of mine. Does this place have a name?
I'm not sure if it's a name, but the locals call it the Hole in the Wall.
Sounds like a nice place for a romantic evening, eh?
You'll find it in Hotprink. There's no other alehouse in that quarter.
So goatskin in the hole in the wall. I reckon I remember that. I'll go and check it out.
Before you go, I wanted to ask. Nobody ever told me why we're actually looking for this Liechtenstein fella.
He might know where they're holding Capon.
I'm sure lots of people might know that.
But Liechtenstein's on our side. At least I hope he still is. You never know these days.
But who is he? And why is he in Kuttenberg?
He's a young noble from Jobst's council. His family have domains in Moravia and Lower Austria. He's here to gather information about the enemy for Jobst. And judging by how important it was for Istvan to find out where he is, he's a real thorn in their side. And they're out to get him.
So we're getting involved in noblemen's schemes again. That means trouble.
I'll do my best not to get us mixed up in all that.
Sure you will. But it can't be helped. There's a war on, and we have to fight. Watch out for yourself, Henry. I have a bad feeling about that district.
You're not the only one.
Grüß Gott. Was brauchst du, mein Herr?
I'd like to go into the gardens. Why are you on guard here?
I'm afraid my sister is resting in the gardens and doesn't wish to be disturbed.
That's a very fine sword you have, Goodman.
And so it should be. It was made by my father, a master swordsmith.
Well, you can tell it's perfectly balanced at first glance. I may not be able to see the blade, but the way the hilt is fitted is clearly the work of a master craftsman.
It seems you know your stuff, good man.
I'm an apprentice swordsmith.
For someone from Kuttenberg? I'm surprised I haven't seen you before.
No, my master is Martin Menschy from Prague. We're just traveling north. My master wants to deliver a piece in person.
You don't say! Master Menschy is in Kuttenberg? Do you think I could talk to him? I admire his work, and so does my father.
Of course. Come to the Hangman's Halter Tavern. My master will be pleased to have company.
Thanks. If you want to enter the gardens, go ahead. Just keep away from my sister. My father has forbidden her to speak to men.
Don't worry. I'll give you my word as a swordsmith.
Tschüss, mein Freund.
Are you Miss Adletta?
That's me. And what is your name? You handsome fellow?
Henry.
A nice name. But I have to warn you, I won't be a miss for much longer. Seeing you here makes me regret that a little, though.
The pleasure's all mine. I'm here on behalf of Caspar Rudolph. It's about the book he lent you.
Caspar? Oh, the poor thing got a proper hiding from my father. How is he?
His vineyards aren't bringing in much, and he's generally not doing too well. That's why I'm here, in fact. Bushek's book may not be the most precious manuscript in the world, but it'll help Caspar.
When we were friends, he gifted me that book. There was no mention of it being on loan. And now he wants it back all of a sudden?
What if we became friends, and you gave me the book?
You're taking a big risk, good man. My father could have your tongue cut out for that kind of talk. He's not too keen on my friends.
That doesn't bother me.
But it's not that easy to become a friend of mine. First, you need to impress me somehow.
I could write a poem for you.
Love poetry. I have to warn you that my taste is rather refined.
One stolen glance, tender and true, captured my heart, beholden to you. Your beauty and grace, like flowers in spring, as the rising sun, you make the birds sing.
That wasn't bad, good man. You have talent. You deserve a reward.
How about a kiss?
Here, now? In broad daylight?
Why not? We're alone here.
That's what you think. I don't want to make my family angry. And it would be a pity if you came to harm as well.
So you don't want...
If the circumstances were different, who knows? But your charming courtship has made me happy.
I'd like to take Casper's book now.
Of course. That's what you came for, isn't it?
I have the book, so I'll be off.
Farewell, Henry. Never forget me.
Servus.
Guten Tag.
A true work of art.
Pavel, the owner of the local inn, I assume?
That I am. How can I help you?
When I asked where I should go in this city for good wine, your inn was recommended.
You've come to the right place. You won't find better wine in this city. Have you come from far away?
Very far, Goodman. I'm Henry, and I rarely hear my name spoken in my native tongue.
Mine has an unusual ingredient in it. Let's see if you can tell what it is.
I travelled around France.
Wonderful! It's not often I get the chance to talk to someone so well-traveled. It'd be nice to have someone to discuss the drink of kings with.
An invitation I can't refuse. Thank you.
Well, good man, how shall we begin our tasting? Ah, I know. How about a little white to begin with?
Excellent.
So, what do you say to that?
Hints of vanilla. That's uncommon. And I have to say, that greenish spring colour is perfect.
You're right. A rare flavor and color tone. It's essentially a lighter wine. I like it because it's suitable for many occasions. When I don't know what to serve, I pull out a Moravian white. My father-in-law loves it. He'll be a blessed 70 years old this year, so I'm giving him a few casks to make his old age a little merrier.
That's very kind of you.
There's nothing but misers in this town. They wouldn't think twice about taking their own mother's last piece of bread. I'm not like that. Do I have money? Of course. But I don't hoard it. I try to make people around me happy.
And you're treating me to this wine. You're a real Samaritan. And like it says in the Bible, you give drink to the thirsty.
Anyway, let's have a cup of something else.
My thoughts exactly.
What shall we... Ah, I know. Let's have some red. How about a young Blaufränkisch from Austria? Or as we call it in Bohemia, Blue Frankovka.
From you, Goodman, anything. Pour away.
Quite a decent vintage.
One beer, please.
Oof. Rather bitter.
Bitter, yes. But it is a young wine.
All right, but the colour. It's not blue at all. More of a purple. That doesn't seem right.
It's not supposed to be blue. The name is a reference to it not being as red as other wines. It's more a play on words.
Ah, forgive me. I've never heard of such a wine.
Don't worry. Nobody knows everything. Except for my wife. If you've travelled so widely, tell me, in France, what wine do they appreciate the most? And I don't mean what wealthy nobility think, but what true connoisseurs like you and me appreciate. Are you going to do what we talked about?
No, sorry.
The best is the papal vineyard in Avignon. Pope Clement V knew why he moved half of Rome to Avignon. He was a great wine lover. The style is similar to Burgundy, but a lot more refined and complex, while Burgundy is mainly drunk by...
By who?
Well, the English. They have no taste.
Well then, let's move on to the next one. After all that quality stuff, let's refresh ourselves with something simpler. Would you like a Hippocras?
Certainly. The better ones will go straight to our heads. And I'll admit, I do like it from time to time.
Nothing to be ashamed of. It's not easy to make a good Hippocras. Mine has an unusual ingredient in it.
Here we are.
Let's see if you can tell what it is.
Innkeeper, a beer.
I don't know. I'd say it's made with... love?
Of course it is. But I meant a real ingredient, not some poetic nonsense.
Well, in that case, I couldn't tell you.
It's not that difficult. It's mint. But there's something off about it. Doesn't it seem a bit bland to you? As though it's missing something.
Ginger. It's missing ginger.
But of course. The cook told me they didn't have any at the market. You have a refined tongue, good man. I'll give you that. After that Hippocras, we should have something more high class. I've got a rare Hungarian wine from Eger. Very strong and very sweet.
Bring it on. This is no time for weak wine.
My thoughts exactly. So what do you think? Good, isn't it?
Very good and very red. Besides that, it has a sort of raised taste at the end of the tongue.
Raised taste? What do you mean?
It's hard to explain, but it really is very red.
As anyone can see at first glance. What will you tell me next? That the sky is blue?
And isn't it?
I drank this particular wine from Eger, at a banquet held to celebrate the new city council. Hungarian government, Hungarian wine, and Hungarian delicacies. I was so looking forward to enjoying some nice Hungarian sausages or pate, but I ended up leaving disappointed.
How so?
They started bringing out melons, apples, plums, and all sorts of other fruit. And finally, they served fish. I don't eat fish, and fruit makes me burp. So I went hungry at a feast.
Well, that's very unusual. Fruit, fish, and red wine. Maybe it's some sort of Hungarian custom.
I was so disappointed that I wanted to make myself something at home to get rid of the taste. But I was so drunk that I fell asleep. The housekeeper woke me up, and what can I tell you? The porridge was charcoal. The kitchen was like a smokehouse, and I had egg on my face. Well, that's Hungary checked off the list. What's next?
How about something local? I noticed there were vineyards in Kuttenberg.
But of course, we have vineyards and grapes from Burgundy that Emperor Charles himself had brought in. The local vintners grow some fine grapes, but they're still learning everything that comes after that. The local stuff gets diluted a lot. They flavor it with all sorts of shit, or leave it for vinegar.
Don't tell me you don't have a drop of anything local that would be worth trying.
Well, there's the monastery secret. A wine from the Sedlets Monastery. My cousin Jerome is the custodian of the monastery vineyard.
Ah. Why is it called secret?
Taste it, and you'll see.
You're right. The taste isn't the best. And it's flavoured with something, isn't it? Honey, maybe? Or some sort of spice?
I hope I didn't pour you a different wine. The monastery wine is some of the best you can find around Kuttenberg.
Ah. It might have gone to my head, and I don't know what I'm saying. So what is the secret?
I've heard the monks add a secret ingredient to the wine.
A secret ingredient? How do you know that?
Like I said, my cousin Jerome is the custodian of the monastery vineyard, and I handle their supply. Sometimes I bring food for the workers, new barrels, tools and the like. And from time to time, I bring them a sealed crate which smells peculiar. Jerome didn't want to tell me what's in it, but when I insisted, he told me it's some kind of incense they burn in the barrels.
Really? I've never heard of such a thing.
Neither have I. But like I said, the chest was sealed and the whole thing is shrouded in secrecy.
A real monastery secret. What should we drink next?
I'm glad you like my wine. But that's enough tasting for today. After all, I've offered you everything worth trying, and now the wine is starting to go to my head. But you're welcome to stay in my tavern as long as you like. I have to say, I really enjoyed our chat. It's rare to meet someone who really understands wine.
I enjoyed your company a lot too. Nevertheless, I won't keep you, Goodman, and I'll bid you farewell.
Farewell, and if you decide to extend your stay in Kuttenberg, stop by for a drink again.
Definitely. God be with you.
God bless you, sir.
I spoke to Havel.
And? How did it go?
Good. I had to drink a bit of wine to get some answers out of him, but I sacrificed myself for the cause.
And what did he say?
It took a while, but in the end, he told me sometimes crates of a special incense are brought to the vineyard, and they apparently burn it in the barrels.
What? Incense? And he wasn't just yanking your pizzle or too drunk?
He may have been drunk, but he was telling the truth. He doesn't know what incense it is, just that they get it delivered.
Right, and Here's a small reward so you don't go around saying old Casper's ungrateful. But now I need you to look into it further. We need to find out what this special incense is for. We'll have to take a look in the vineyard and take some of that incense.
We, meaning me, right?
Of course I mean you. See how well we understand each other?
I'll do it, but I want more coin. It's a risky thing to do. What's more, it's the monastery's vineyard, and I don't want to end up on the wrong side of the church.
All right. I'll give you more, but I want you to know you're bleeding me dry as is.
I'm the one likely to actually bleed. Now tell me where to look. The vineyard is pretty big.
It's big, true. But there's a vineyard house right in the middle. The custodian lives there, as well as the workers, and it's also where all the supplies are stored. Besides, there's also a side garden where they grow new varieties of grapes. If you could manage to bring me a few seedlings, they could greatly help my own vineyard.
Where exactly is the vineyard?
A short way to the north of town. It's pretty large, you can't miss it.
I'm on it then.
Good luck, and take care, Henry. By the way, what about the business with the Manlikas? Did you manage to get hold of the book by Bouchek?
Yes, Miss Adletter is sweet. And she even gave me back your book. Here it is.
Ah, thanks very much. I'll try to sell it and pay off at least some of my debts.
Peacefully.
Fountain?
It is therefore decided
Where does the water
to
come
collect
from?
food supplies
Here,
from
in the middle of the city.
to send to our brave defenders.
I'm looking for a fella called Goatskin.
I don't know you. If you're after something, go and see Chenyik. And stay out of the way.
Could you tell me more about this Chenyik?
In case you haven't caught on yet, he's not likely to tell you much. He's got this place under his thumb. That's all.
And where can I find this Chenyik?
He'll be here somewhere. He usually sits next to Hugo, our oldest regular.
Right. I'm gonna see if I can find that Chenyik.
I'm a bit peckish.
Aye, of course.
To success! See? At least you have a fine
One last beer, he says.
feel much like moving. Who knows what else? As we were fighting over the rooster.
I'm looking for a fella called Goatskin. Do you know him?
Aye. But I reckon I ain't gonna tell you nothing.
Why not?
Because I don't know you. Although the way you're kitted out, you seem like you might fit in here.
Here you go. Enjoy your
How about I invite you for a drink? We'll have a beer, chat about life.
You ain't got a clue, do you? Fellas don't come to this place for booze. You cough up a bit of glint, and I'll tell you about Goatskin. But don't bother trying to get matey with me.
I hope it'll be worth it.
That depends how much that wretch is worth to you. What was it you wanted to know?
I'm looking for Goatskin. I hear he used to come here.
Aye. Thing is, ain't nobody seen him here for a few days.
But he used to come here.
Aye. He was here day in, day out. Only this time some burly lads came here and duffed him up proper.
Do you know the men who beat him up?
No. But there were some Jews among them, and that's pretty odd. Seeing as how they don't usually get mixed up in nothing.
Why did they give him such a beating? Did they say anything?
Well, Goatskin is a right knob end. Always asking for it, he is. But I reckon this time it was about his big gob. The last week he was coming, throwing glint around. And when we squeezed him about where he got the coin, he said he was spying for some lord.
And does this lord have a name?
He didn't say. We didn't swallow his yarn about spying anyway. We reckoned he made a score and just wanted to look like a big man.
What happened to Goatskin? Does anyone know where he is now?
No word.
But I reckon he's holed up somewhere, licking his wounds. Seems he's stuck his nose in a wasp's nest, and he won't be sticking it out again for a while. If you're going to look for him, try it at night. You don't stray far when he's on the job. Usually between Hradek and the horse market. He goes after drunks. So I try asking in the local drinking dens.
All right. What does he look like, though? He can't be the only fella who likes to relieve drunks of their purses.
God's truth. But you'll know Goatskin when you see him. They call him that on account of how he got kicked in the head by a goat as a nipper. He's got a dent in his forehead you could use for a game of marbles.
I'm sure you know the town better than me. What drinking dens are there on Goatskin's Patch?
Between the horse market and Hradek, there's the Black Horse, a miner's tavern. Wayman the taverner used to be a miner. And then there's the Big Bathhouse. It belongs to some bloke called Adam. He tarted the place up big.
Any others?
None I know.
Thanks. I'll go and look for him.
I wish you luck then. He ain't the brightest, but he's got a real talent for saving his own skin. Once you're done with him, come by and see us. Seems after all you're a pretty handy bloke. We could use the likes of you.
If you've got some job for me, you can tell me straight up. So what kind of work do you have for me?
A job worthy of your skills. But first, just a little test to see that you're not as dim-witted as that arsehole Goatskin. What is Wycliffe's first thesis?
When our Lord Jesus Christ commanded us to repent, he wanted to believe his whole life to be one of repentance.
Well done, brother! Second question. Which estate has the greatest reformatory potential?
The commoners.
Correct! The Reformation must start from the bottom and ignite like a flame in the hearts of all, so that in the end the Holy Church itself will be set ablaze with purifying fire.
I knew right away that the people who meet here in the hole are a different bunch.
You thought we were just paupers who couldn't count to 5, didn't you? But now let's see who's the pauper. Last question. Who is the rightful king of Bohemia?
Wenceslas. There's no doubt about it.
Indeed. All right. Now let's talk about the job. Maybe this will disappoint you a little, but it concerns Wenceslas's brother. It's he who will secure your place in our humble company.
Well, from what you've said, I gather you're not spying for Sigismund. It's rather the other way around, huh?
We call ourselves the Guild. We profess the ideals of equality and brotherhood. Our only law is the Holy Bible. Worldly justice is as fickle as a common whore, yielding to those who are in power.
Justice for me or the gallows. Aren't you afraid to end up there?
Friend, one must be willing to suffer for the truth. Sigismund is a usurper. And the church and the magistrates are but a lowly horse spreading her legs for Sigismund. As long as we go against Sigismund and honour the scripture, our souls remain pure.
What if I go and tell the bailiff you're calling him a whore? Just out of courtesy, you know?
Go ahead. Perhaps you are one of the lucky ones who are not harmed by Sigismund's presence in Bohemia. Maybe you don't mind selling a piece of your conscience by ratting us out. As for me, I will go to the town hall with my head held high. But you?
Yeah, don't worry. I was just teasing you. I think the same of Sigismund. Tell me about your operation here.
We are who we are and we do what we do. Like the early church of Jesus' apostles, in unity and fidelity to his words. I'm in charge. I plan all our missions. Goliath is the muscle. Knuckles, well, he mostly complains. But he also knows his way around locks. But we're all equal. We share the profits equally, but we don't do it for the wealth. We want to drive Sigismund out of this town.
How can I join you?
You want to join us already? I don't have to talk you into it. That's great. We're not particular about formalities. Let's just have a beer, and then you're one of us.
Here's to the guild.
To the guild! That reminds me, I'd like to throw a feast for the poor. The bigger the better.
Didn't you say you were just ordinary people with no money?
We are. And this is where Sigismund comes in. Because he's going to pay for the feast out of his own pocket.
That was a good one. How are you going to make that happen?
Me? No. You'll make it all happen. Listen carefully. Sigismund seized land down in the valley near Pach and built his personal warehouse on it, right under our noses as a provocation. There he stores fancy foods and gifts for his commanders, and for that red-bearded gob of his. Sausages, smoked meats, foreign spices, and more. Fancy delicacies from Italy, Hungary, Slavonia, and all the other shitholes where he owns land. While we're eating porridge and cabbage all the time. You will steal all the food you can carry from that warehouse. And as a nice token, you will leave there... Let's see... What would you leave there?
That cabbage you said you were eating all the time?
Brilliant! Get at least one head from the greengrocer and leave it there for Sigismund. Let him eat for once what we have in our bowls almost every day. But I'm warning you right now, no violence. Don't even think about slitting anyone's throat in that warehouse. The job isn't to punish some poor sod on guard duty. Is that clear?
Got it. What should I do with the stolen food?
You'll give it to the beggars. Let them feast like kings for once. It's not hard to find poor people in the town. Just go to the gates or churches, and you'll surely come across some. There are also tents full of them in Minor Street, Church Street or Cobbler Street. When you're done, come and see me, and we'll figure out what to do next.
Sigismund will be fucking livid he can't enjoy his fine sausages. Can I expect any help from you?
If you need some tools, stop by Knuckles. That's all I can help you with.
All right. I'll head out.
Good luck.
Greetings.
Tell me about yourself. Where did you come from? What are you doing here?
I'm doing what I've always done. I'm stealing. But now, I'm doing it for a higher purpose. Because I only steal from the enemies of the Kingdom of Bohemia.
Have you ever thought about finding more honest work?
And let others rob me blind on my earnings? Thanks, friend. I think I'll stick with stealing.
I'm Henry, a new member of the guild.
I'm Rat. That's what they call me. My nimble fingers can deal with any lock. Me and Hog. We're the main workforce in the guild. Hog is my best friend.
Is it true you hold fights here?
No bloody way. What we do here has nothing to do with fighting. Teeth fly in all directions. Bones crack. Blood flows. It's a bloodbath.
I'll have a beer.
And people do this voluntarily?
Not only voluntarily, but willingly. There's quite a nice heap of money in it. And there are other things at play.
That sounds like something for me.
As you wish. But if Damian, Zavish or Goliath slice you into schnitzel, don't come crying to me.
You can't scare me. I'm in.
Have it your way. I warned you. First, pay me the entry fee.
Here.
Well, let's see. A fight with Damian is first up for you. If he doesn't get you by force, he will certainly get you by pure stench alone.
Can't wait.
Zavish is up second. When he fights, it's a joy to behold. But there's this one catch. When he's sober, he's not worth a damn. If you want to fight with him, you have to make certain he's got some drinks in him.
And can't you get those drinks into him yourself? You run this place, don't you?
I could, but Zarvish has quite a tab here already, so he won't get even a drop on the house anymore. But I won't let him fight if he's sober. Do with that what you may. The last one is Goliath, our champion. Nobody's ever defeated him here.
Maybe I'll be the first.
I know Goliath, and I know what he's capable of. If you value your life, when you go down, stay down. Well, and that's that. We hold the fights in the building next door. The lads will already be waiting for you there. And one more thing. No giving up. You fight as long as you're standing, and if you lose, well, you'll see.
Wonderful. What's new in the city?
Oh, there was this bloke here in fancy clothes. His name was Johann Parler. He said he was looking for a blacksmith who'll take on any job. Why don't you go and see him? I think he said he lived in the inn, in the merchant's quarter. And that's about it.
That doesn't sound bad. Thank you, innkeeper. Why did you start fighting?
I'm a pongy beggar with almost no teeth. What have I got to lose here?
The innkeeper said the fellas often break bones here. Aren't you scared of that?
That's a load of shit. Mole likes to exaggerate. Just because it happened a couple of times doesn't mean it's common. Did he also tell you Goliath beat someone to death here?
No.
Don't worry. It was a long time ago.
Come and fight.
All right, then. But I have another proposal. Mole gets his share from the fees, but only the winner gets the spoils. So, what would you say to a wee bet? So us weaker fighters have a chance?
You know, why not?
Mighty kind of you. Ready? Ha! Fucking hell! Defend yourself, asshole! Are you going to cry, you poor son? Such a wanker, and he kicks my arse.
What do you mean, wanker? Getting your ass kicked once wasn't enough?
Just you wait. Zavish will wipe that smirk off your face. Here, take the money and get out of my sight, you prick.
Could you please explain why you only fight when you're in your cups?
That's easy. When I'm sober, I get easily distracted and find it hard to focus. The booze clears my head, and I can think only about how to rough up the churl in front of me.
Shall we fight?
I've got a bit of a dry throat. Let me just have a drink first, then we can.
Would you like to raise a cup with me?
Do I know you?
Well, no, not yet. But we can fix that. I'm Henry.
Zarvish.
Well, should we drink something?
For all I care. But you're paying. They won't pour me anymore.
Here's something to drink. Enjoy.
I was pretty damn thirsty. Bottoms up!
Now do you feel like fighting?
No, not yet. But we're almost there. Could you find another drop?
Another drink for your other leg?
You're a fella I don't meet every day. Gloria!
Well, how about that fight?
Absolutely.
Shall we fight?
Aye! But what do you say to a bet first? so we get something out of this.
Good idea. Here you are.
Sacre. I can't seem to count it. Well, I trust you. If worse comes to worse, I'll lose on it. Let's fight!
Punch his face in!
Backwards!
Turn him ass
Get
backwards!
Too slow! Hurry up. I have to take a piss. Cheers. Cheers.
My grandma could beat him. Barrett could beat him. Take him down! Take him down! Now move on, you snail! Barrett could beat him. Move on, you snail! Kick his teeth out the other side of his face!
Hurry up. I have to take a piss. Take that! Two on one? What kind of shit is that?
Take him down!
Punch his face in!
Down!
See some blood! Rip his guts out! Rip his guts out!
Punch his face in!
Take him down! Take his face in!
Fucker!
We want to see some blood! Take him down!
You call that out?
Kick his teeth out! Turn him off backwards! Turn him off backwards!
Cheers.
Take him down! Rubbish! Take him down! Oh, you fool!
Good fight.
Good, good. My skull's still spinning from it. Or is that from the drink? Lord knows. You get the whole bet, and don't drink it up right away.
It looks like Mole is pretty certain you're gonna win. Is it true no one's ever defeated you?
Oh, I reckon it's really true. But it wasn't for lack of them trying, you know.
Where'd you learn to fight like that?
My father gave me thrashings when I was little. He only stopped when I broke both his hands. Ever since then, no one's defeated me.
Tell me, how did you end up here? And what do you do here?
Chenyek pulled me out of the ditch and offered me a new life. Literally. I've been helping him with his the thing he's doing.
You say that like it doesn't matter to you one bit.
Chenyek matters to me. He's a great friend, and I owe him a lot. I believe what he's doing is right.
So you just do what he tells you?
Pretty much. And since I've been doing it, my life has been so much better.
Don't you have some plans and aims of your own?
When Chenyek gets what he wants, I'll open my own tavern. Until then, I'll be at his beck and call.
You don't seem to have many opinions of your own, do you?
What good would they do me? Everything Chenyek says makes sense to me. At least the parts I understand. So why come up with something of my own?
Shall we fight?
No problem. So, come and bet. You can't take any groschen to the grave anyway.
Well, why not? Here you go.
Now, say goodbye to your life. I'm just getting started! Hey! And that's that! Shit! Bloody hell! You lousy bastard! I've been crushing men's bones for so long, and then this squirt comes along and... Fuck me!
You know how it is. Everything has to end someday.
Yeah, fuck you. You should tell Mole about it. His head's gonna explode when he hears you beat me. Maybe I'll inherit this place then.
How can I help you, sir?
I won all the fights.
No fucking way! Goliath isn't the undefeated champion anymore? Who'd have reckoned?
It couldn't last forever.
Anyway, the reward is yours. Here you go. One for Damian, another for Zavish, the third for Goliath, and a fourth one, just for surviving.
Thanks.
They have similar, but much more boring, entertainment in Horshan. Young Brutans runs things there. Tomlin. And I heard blokes from Prague and Miskovitz were recently in a brawl. I don't know who won, but it must have been a pretty dance.
Thanks for the advice.
Anyway, you beat the best here. That's not going to discourage them, so feel free to come back sometime. If nothing else, people like to gorp at it. And when their throat dries out from all that kibitzing, then business is booming.